February 1978. The Plumas National Forest in California. A thaw in the winter snow reveals a horror that police are still trying to understand 5 decades later. Inside a ranger service trailer, surrounded by 6 feet of snow, searchers found the body of Ted Wire. But it wasn't the cold that killed him. It was starvation. Ted had lost nearly 100 pounds. He was wrapped in sheets, frozen to death, while sitting just inches away from a cabinet filled with enough food to keep all 5 men alive for a year. He had a lighter, he had matches, he had propane, but he never used them. Why would 5 grown men abandon a working car, walk into a blizzard, and then starve to death in a warm room full of food? What were they hiding from in the dark? Welcome to the Black Box Files. This is the case of the Yuba County Five. To understand the horror, we have to look at the men. They were called the Boys, 5 friends from Yuba City: Ted, Jack, Bill, Hugh, and Gary. They ranged in age from 24 to 32, but they all shared a gentle nature. Most of them had mild intellectual disabilities. They were close-knit. They followed rules. They didn't take risks. On February 24th, they drove their turquoise 1969 Mercury Montego to a college basketball game in Chico. They were happy. Their own team was scheduled to play a tournament the very next day. They had uniforms laid out on their beds at home. They had every reason to return. They stopped at a convenience store to buy snacks: a Hostess cherry pie, a Snickers bar. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. The drive home should have been a straight line south, but for reasons that died with them, the driver turned the car east. Instead of going home, they drove straight up into the Sierra Nevada mountains, into the wilderness, into the snow line. Police found their car days later. This is the first impossible fact. The car was not stuck. The engine worked. The gas tank was quarter full. 5 strong men could have easily pushed it free from the light snowpack. But they didn't. Instead, they opened the doors, stepped out into the freezing night, and walked away from safety. There was a witness. A man named Joseph Shans was stuck in the snow further up the road. He told police he saw the boys' car pull up. He saw headlights. But when he screamed for help, the lights went out. The figures stopped moving. Sean said it felt like they were hiding from him, or perhaps hiding from something else. Months later, the snow melted. The bodies were found. 4 of the men had scattered into the woods, dying of hypothermia. But Ted Wire had made it to the Forest Service trailer. Ted lived in that trailer for nearly 3 months. Beside him was a propane tank. He never turned the valve. In the cabinet, enough dry food to feed all 5 men for a year. He opened only a few cans. Psychologists suggest learned helplessness. They were scared men in a strange place. But the family believes something else. They believe the men were afraid. Afraid to turn on the light. Afraid to make a sound. Because if they turned on the light, whatever chased them up that mountain would know where they were. The case of the Yuba County Five remains officially closed, but the questions remain. Some files are never meant to be closed. For more investigations into the unknown, subscribe to the Black Box Files.